Could Brooklyn Park be the next city to tackle raising the minimum age to buy tobacco? It was one of several ideas discussed at length at a recent city council meeting. The topic came up as part of a youth tobacco prevention presentation from Cities United and the Brooklyn's Youth Council. They recommended City Council raise the minimum age to buy tobacco, reduce the density of tobacco retailers, and increase compliance checks, all as a way to stop youth from smoking or vaping. Small business owners also came forward to emphasize how the age restrictions hurt them, and the council shared opinions too.
Prevention is always education, so I don't think limiting supply, our war on drugs has been going on for, 3 or 4 decades now, hasn't really fixed anything. If we want people to stop smoking, the best way to do is educate them.
I'm open to the idea that staff has to work with the community and the youth, come back with some real steps in which we could take options for us that really would limit and reduce the amount of youth that actually uses tobacco products.
And what's next? City staff will have a joint meeting with local business owners as well as work with the Youth Council and public health partners to bring forward more information to the council about successful ways to stop youth from using tobacco. Job numbers released by the state Thursday show it's a tight labor market. The 7-county Twin Cities metro area had more than 76,000 job vacancies, which is an 11% increase from 1 year ago. Where are those job vacancies? Deed says statewide 18% of the vacancies were in healthcare, 13% in retail, 12% in food service, and 8% in manufacturing. This week, one employer has been looking for employees right here in the Northwest Metro. Reporter Meredith Hackler explains more. Meredith?
Shannon, while this won't impact people getting their mail, if you're looking for a job, it could impact you in a positive way. Right now in the Minneapolis metro area, the United States Postal Service is in need of around 60 mail carriers. The starting pay is over $17 per hour. Anyone who is 18 years or older with a clean driving record can apply, and if someone is 16 years old and has a high school diploma, they too can apply. Those with the post office say starting out delivering mail is a great way to start a long-lasting career with the USPS.
We have a lot of promotional opportunities, and we only promote from within. So we bring you in as a mail handler, a clerk, or a carrier, and then we promote you from there. So you kind of start at the same spot.
There have been job fairs this week in Brooklyn Center and in Brooklyn Park, and if you missed those, there will be another one on Monday the 29th in Minneapolis. We have that information on our website. Shannon?
All right, thank you, Meredith. Some students thrive in large schools, others sometimes slip through the cracks. In today's School Spotlight, reporter Meredith Hackler shows us how Sage Academy in Brooklyn Park teaches students differently and embraces project-based learning.
So we've talked about the resume part, so now we're going to talk about how to write a cover letter.
At Sage Academy, you won't find many students memorizing information. Instead, you will find them collaborating and presenting what they're learning.
That actually is where the idea for adventure playgrounds came from, is these kids using these loose materials and building things on their own.
Every student's unique and needs something a little bit different for their success, and that's amazing. And that also takes everybody to make that happen.
Sage opened its doors to 65 students in August of 2002. The school started with a mission of celebrating diversity and creating a school of excellence with a global and international focus.
We have kids going to Italy next week. We have kids that go out of state for the Habitat for Humanity. Kids do a lot of service work as well. So it's like getting out there and experiencing new things.
And a real-world approach to learning is what some teachers say changes students' attitudes towards education.
Doing a project-based approach to education really lets students kind of have a multimodal experience, and they can really emphasize their strengths, and it gives them more opportunities to really work on their weaknesses instead of kind of glossing over their weaknesses.
And one of those students who changed their view on education is Azriel Santana.
When I went to Park Center, I had high dreams of dropping out of school and just pursuing my dreams as an entrepreneur. But when I came here, I discovered something inside of myself.
Teachers say Azriel's story is similar to other students who attend Sage Academy.
I see students who come here struggling to even acknowledge their peers, struggling to really greet their teacher in the morning, and then within a few months, it's like a complete turnaround.
Teaching students a different way to learn.
Helped me show that there's more ways to learn than it is just textbook.
And making sure that no student is left behind. In Brooklyn Park, Meredith Hackler, CCX News.
More than 50 years ago, a Brooklyn Park Lions Club member went to Duluth to get some smelt. And there he got an idea for a fundraiser.
Well, that's a good idea. I think our club should start something like that. So he came back and told the Lions that he wanted to start a Smelt Fry. And that's how it started.
Art Kwame is one that started this thing back in 1961 or 2. It's been around. They started the club in 1961, and we've been doing this ever since.
The rest, as they say, is history. Art Kwame was a former Brooklyn Park mayor and the person who started the Smelt Fry that now bears his name. He passed away last year. The fundraiser kicked off on Wednesday, and organizers say more than 2,000 people will come through and enjoy a plate of fried fish.
All of the money that we raise at this event goes back into the community, and so you are really a part of something much bigger by just coming and enjoying the smelt.
It's a 3-day event, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of this week.
And it's all at the Community Activity Center in Brooklyn Park. The Lions Club fundraiser calls itself the world's largest Smelt Fry. Tickets are $15 at the door. And now I know this is not Smell-O-Vision, but we will leave you now with pictures of what the first night of the Smelt Fry looked like. You can find out more information about the Smelt Fry on our website, ccxmedia.org.
I'm Jay Wilcox. It's early in the season, but the Maple Grove boys lacrosse team is dominating the competition so far. The Crimson aim for their 4th straight win as they hosted Andover in Northwest Suburban Conference play. A big save early by Maple Grove goalie Joel Johnson as he stops Kyle Nelson's point-blank shot to keep the Huskies off the board. A short time later, the Crimson strike first. Jaden Cruz fires in a shot to make it 1-0 just over 3.5 minutes into the game. Then Max Leaf heads toward the net. His shot deflects over to his teammate Riley Casibo, who scores, and it's 2-0 Maple Grove, and they're just getting started. Watch number 27, Cody Binstock, wind up and fire the shot high into the net. It's 3-0 Maple Grove. Still in the first quarter, and Grant Zick's shot caroms right to Leaf, who scores to give Maple Grove a 4-0 lead after 1. In the second quarter, Maple Grove continues to attack. Drew Heisler takes the pass and scores the second of his 4 goals in the game to put Maple Grove ahead 7-0. A couple of quick passes here for Maple Grove before the ball ends up with Cade Urquhart. He scores to make it 8-1. Maple Grove goes on to win big, 17-4. The Crimson are now 4-0. The Armstrong girls lacrosse team has a new head coach this spring as Armstrong alum Carrie Torgerson takes over. Torgerson and the Falcons hosted Totino-Grace on Wednesday night. After an early Grace goal, Armstrong takes over. Mayula Shamlunsuk scores 3 in a row. This one makes it 3-1 Falcons. Carly O'Donnell sets up Riley Carpentier for the goal to make it 4-1 Armstrong. Alexandra O'Malley finds Jenna Ott cutting in the middle. Ott gets free to bury the shot for a 6-1 lead. Jamlensuk gets control of the ground ball and turns to score her 5th goal of the first half. Armstrong is up 9-1 at the half. Totino-Grace gets the offense going a bit early in the second half. Alani Brands cuts across the middle to score here, and it's 11-3. Armstrong scores the last 5, though. O'Donnell gets 3 in a row and scores 4 total as Armstrong wins it 16-4. The Osseo baseball team won its first game Tuesday, beating Champlain Park. The Orioles tried to make it 2 in a row as they hosted Elk River on Wednesday. Osseo pitcher John Klein is sharp early. He gets Bryce Lloydolt looking at a called 3rd strike. In the top of the 3rd, the Elks break through. Charlie Eldridge grounds a hit to left. Kyle Esperum takes a wide turn and speeds for home, diving in with the game's first run. Same inning, and Adam Eldridge lays down the squeeze bunt to score Zach Stroh. And when Osseo's throw to first is errant, Charlie Eldridge comes in to score too, and it's 3-0 Elks. Elk River's Sam Organ pitches well and fields his position 2. He pounces on the chopper in front of the plate and fires to first to get the out. In the bottom of the 4th, Esprum drives the ball down the line and right, and it drops in for a hit. Lloyd-Olt scores on the play, and that makes it 4-0 Elk River. And Oregon keeps the Orioles at bay. He throws a 2-hit shutout with 6 strikeouts for the Elks. And Elk River puts it away with a 3-run 7th inning as Esprum will rip a 2-run single past third to score a pair. Elk River wins at 7-0. You can see Osseo in action live against Hopkins Thursday night at 7 here on CCX. The Hopkins softball team won 3 of its first 4 games, including 2 late conference wins. The Royals found the going a little tougher, though, against Eden Prairie. The top of the 2nd, Eden Prairie's Kate Zimmerman powers a line drive over the fence for a 2-run homer and a 5-0 Eagles lead. The Royals get on the board in the 3rd as Emma Curris's 2-out hit plates Lauren Granger. In the bottom of the 5th, Hopkins' Parker Stoddard drops a hit into shallow left field. Granger scores again, cutting the lead to 5-2. But the Eagles get another run in the 7th when Taylor Wright comes home on a wild pitch. And Hopkins goes down in order in the bottom of the 7th as Eden Prairie wins this one. 6-2 is the final score.